Before we go any further, I do want to read out the full title of the book. There's quite a long subtitle, but it absolutely explains it, which is, well, of course, as we said, it is the When Race Trumps Merit, but it's how the pursuit of equity sacrifices excellence, destroys beauty, and threatens lives. This is an extraordinarily important book, Heather, I think. And we obviously follow events in America. It's pretty much the same here.
Yes.
I wonder whether you could actually start by explaining to us a concept which runs through the book, which is something called disparate impact. Once you explain it, I know it become crystal clear, but could you explain what you mean by that?
Right. Peter, disparate impact is the concept that if any kind of meritocratic standard has a disproportionately negative effect on, above all, Blacks, it is a per se racist standard. So we have in the United States standardized, computer-graded, objective, anonymous admissions tests to get into college that evaluate high school seniors' academic skills. Right. And Black students do particularly poorly on the SATs. And therefore, the SAT exam as a marker of college readiness has a disparate impact on Blacks. What we have decided in the United States now, that we will tear down the standards rather than say meet the standards, put in some more effort and meet the standards. If a medical school uses a similar test, the medical college admissions test, which is the medical version of our SATs, again, colorblind, objective, neutral, computer graded, again, Blacks do poorly on the MCATs. The MCATs have a disparate impact on Blacks. Therefore, we are lowering the bar for the MCATs. There's a movement afoot to get rid of the MCATs as a way of evaluating medical applicants. This is happening. It's been going on for decades. Any kind of minimal literacy test for qualifying people for taking on firefighting jobs or police jobs, there again, traditionally you have had Blacks scoring much lower on those exams. And so we sue saying the exams are racist and we throw out the exams. This, Peter, is a recipe for civilizational suicide. We are destroying the concept of excellence. We are removing incentives for achievement, hard work, and accomplishment. And we are asking not just for mediocrity, but for actual threats to human lives, whether it's with regards to the qualifications of doctors, with how we do medical research, how we do our police training, and in the case of the criminal law system, the reason why crime has been shooting up to astronomical levels, and we've seen record-breaking increases since the George Floyd race riots, is we're also not enforcing the criminal law in the United States, Peter, because it too has a disparate impact on Black criminals. So we are putting, above all, Black lives at risk under this phony idea that any neutral colorblind standard that has a disparate impact on an underrepresented minority is per se racist.
So basically you can't actually demur from that one definition, isn't that right? That basically a little bit like the idea of equity as opposed to equality, essentially this must be the reason. And if you don't have the right proportion of ethnic minority or whatever, somehow this automatically makes you racist, makes the organization racist, or that's really what you're saying.
That's, you've put your finger on it, Peter. Right now in the United States, the only allowable explanation for any racial disparity in any mainstream institution, whether it's a cancer research lab, whether it's a law firm, whether it's a bank, whether it's a foundation, whether it's a news desk, if there are not proportional numbers of underrepresented minorities there, the only allowable explanation is racism.
Yeah.
It's a racist test. It's a racist qualification. These tests have a disparate impact. What I hope to do is provide people with the actual explanation. We are not a racist society. Our standards are not racist. We were a racist society. America was an apartheid state. It was a white supremacist state. I have no hesitation about admitting that. I also have no hesitation in stating without qualification that that is not the reality today. The reality today is not white privilege in America, it is black privilege. I will believe in white privilege when I hear of a black high school senior applying to college who checks the white box in the race box because he thinks that being white will be an advantage to him in getting into college. The reality is this: if you are a heterosexual white male in the United States today, you are at the bottom of the totem pole. You will be the last considered, the last hired, and the first fired. So black privilege is our reality. I want to provide an alternative explanation for why we do not have exact racial proportionality in our mainstream institutions, and that is the academic skills gap. It is vast. Here is the sad reality, Peter, that Americans are so non-white supremacists that if they close their ears to these truths, they do not want to hear it. But this is the fact that explains why when you look at a research lab that is trying to solve Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's or early stage dementia, it is not likely to have 13% black oncologists. Here's the reality. 66% of black 12th graders, our 12th grade is the final year of high school before a student begins college. So we're looking at 17 and 18-year-olds here. 66% of black 12th graders do not possess even partial mastery of basic 12th grade math skills, which are defined as being able to do arithmetic or read a graph. Right. 8% of black 12th graders are competent in basic 12th grade math, and the number who are advanced in 12th grade math is too small to show up statistically. The picture is not much better in reading. 50% of black 12th graders do not possess even partial mastery of basic 12th grade reading skills. That means that you can have diversity, which is the goal of every single American institution today, or you can have meritocracy. You cannot have both. But right now, as you say, Peter, the only allowable explanation is racism for racial disparities. And as long as that is the case, it is all coming down. Every institution of civilization is coming down.